My, people come and go so quickly here.
No, I don't know many people.
I know too many people. I guess we're both lonely.
Milk was a bad choice.
You crying? No. Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Clean up in aisle 9. Yeah, but with Senator Susan Kent. Senator, I never should have went into that break without having looked it up first, but I started, I don't know if you listened, talk about how 2025 is the craziest year ever when it comes to the voting and that sort of thing. And then I start listing off the elections we have, and I don't know that I got them all. Senator Dietzick, she passed, right? And then there was Senator Anderson. He also passed. Okay. Senator Mitchell was a self-inflicted wound. Sorry. Senator Eichhorn, hello, self-inflicted wound, right?
Yep.
So that's 4. That's
4
on
in the Senate so far.
Then you have the guy who won the rep seat but didn't live in the seat, him, Representative Hortman, who I literally forgot when I did that bit.
Yeah.
So I want to get it.
I did my list too. So,
Okay, so that gets us the ones we're done. Now we know Representative Yeager, who just won yesterday, is in Woodbury, and then Representative Herr, who won the St. Paul seat. So there's 2 more on the way, and Senator Fatah could get us to 9.
Yeah.
Are you flipping kidding me? I think 3 is the most we've ever had in the year.
I think those numbers are definitely in the ballpark, if not dead on. Mm-hmm. It's insane. I know, and like I had not, I've had a lot going on, so I, have not been super. I've been paying attention, obviously, to the Minneapolis race and the St. Paul race, and and I know all of these people, and they're good people, and I stayed out of both of these because they're not my cities. I had not, because I've been thinking a lot, obviously, about the Woodbury race, and I know, and somebody's already announced that they're interested in running for the House seat. Thinking it was likely that Amanda Hemmingson Yeager would get elected to the Senate, and we know because people did this math. There is time, for anybody who just got elected, for there to be a special election called in time for a session which starts in early to mid-February next year. So we can do it. It's just, here we go again.
But how freaky this is that this is on a year when we're absolutely one vote goes one way or the other and everything flips. This is not, you had 10 anyway and you're going to just fill the seat you're going to fill. This is it. Everyone's important.
I know, but see, here's what's interesting, and this is what I wanted to talk about. It's like I ran in, so the seat that Amanda just won last night is essentially the same seat that I won in 2012. And when I won in 2012, it was 50.4% leaning Democratic. And then she just won last night
62-38,
23 points.
Yeah.
Right. So, that is how much this district has changed in that time. The seat that I held had swung every single election for almost 20 years before I got elected. Yeah. And then I had it 3 cycles. And then, of course, we elected
I think
Nicole,
your suburbs, and so folks, Woodbury is what we're talking about. So we're talking the Mitchell seat. Yes. And Yeager gets that. I don't know that was a shocker. Same with on the other side, 29.
Here's the thing I was going to say is and I was texting with people last night. If you looked at the media coverage of it, and I followed it pretty closely, they were all like, oh, the Anderson seat, that's going to be really, really safe. That's committed red. But the Woodbury seat is up for grabs. And I just sort of figured, with that being the way it was being discussed, that meant that the Republicans were going to come in and try to spend a lot of money and flip the Woodbury seat, which they've always done.
But they didn't, right?
But they didn't, right?
Yeah,
they did.
So let me throw my brilliance out on that.
Which I think, but let me just say this because, like I said, I did math. But what's interesting is, yes, Senator Anderson won that district in 2022 by 36 points, but last night the Republican Holmstrom won it by 24.
Yeah,
and Mitchell won the Woodbury seat by 17.
And
Amanda won it by 23. So those 2 seats were like a point away.
Yeah.
So, they were equally close and nobody thought, people were just completely dead wrong about these districts. And I think it's telling.
Unless you listen to this show, because I've talked to you about this seat, Putnam, I don't know, the other senators have come on. And they all told me that that was more than likely going to be a blue seat. I was not. This is my thing about last night. I went to bed and got up, and I think it ended the way I thought it was going to end. I have no, oh my God, I can't believe it, thoughts. It's like, okay, they happen. But let me throw you my brilliance. And this is where, when this happens, you'll say, ow. Here, you ready to catch it? So I heard also that the Republicans didn't do a ton of work like they should have for an open Senate seat in Woodbury. If open was the right word. Now, maybe they saw those numbers too. People do polling. Maybe they knew, don't waste your ammo, right? I mean, so I know we can't use that phrase anymore. Sorry. Don't use, don't waste your money on it. But now there is half that district, the House seat, is now available. And maybe their brilliance is, saved ourselves, saved our foot, and now let's go attack.
It's the opposite, because this district is like historically. So when the whole
half and half
was 50.4, one was 55, and that was the A side, which is Amanda's side, and one was 45. And in that time, the B side has gone blue, and the A side has gotten even bluer. So like when we had the because both House members, contested for the endorsement and went to the primary for and a lot of people were saying we really just need to elect Amanda from the A side, because it's going to be a lot easier in a short time frame to have a special on the A side than it is on the B side. But we probably still would have won on the B side, even if Ethan Shaw had been the one who had done it.
Oh, you're so confident about it. Okay, let me ask.
The district has just changed that much. But the other thing that I just want to point out, and this is what we've seen all over the country, there have been a lot of surprises, and the overperformance of Democrats really, and you and I were talking about, like, the candidates who've announced for 26, right?
Yeah.
And my point being, Trump is going to likely be on the ballot in 26, and that's why people were watching last night so closely. Last night was not good news for Republicans and Donald Trump.
Well,
and it'll be really interesting to see how congressional Republicans, if they actually start showing up for work now, that they saw what happened in districts and precincts that they should not have.
Showing up for work. I think what will happen now that this election is over, because I believe that the 30 days of government shutdown riled up a side. They got them out to vote and do exactly what happened. I think they get back to work. Now they have no reason to hold it. They're going to go back. 6 more senators are going to vote for it, and this thing's we'll get back up and running. But
that's not how this is going down, my friend. This is
and we're going to get to watch this.
I think there's a lot of unrest in the Republican caucuses about the way this is happened, and I think it's fascinating. Marjorie Taylor Greene on The View the other day saying how mad she is that they're not working. I mean, she's saying that out loud. No, because everybody's back in their districts. No media, and we don't have local media anymore. Nobody's talking to these local Republican representatives and saying, "Where are you?"
Well, I think they should, but to use Marjorie Taylor Greene on the rest of us, I'm sorry, even on the Republican, it's like, okay, everything AOC says, that's what Susan Kent believes. I got to do this. I got to go to break.
I'm speculating.
Yeah, but so how does this work? Because you've been there. I believe it's 5 days. So now we have the Her one for sure, the Yeager one for sure. You might want to wait to see if the Fatah thing works in the next day or two. I don't know, but I understand it. 5 days after that, the governor then can come out and say, you need 6 weeks for, I suppose, to run a primary. And then, so we're getting literally early January at best.
It's close, yeah. And, they need to wait for the canvass boards and all that sort of stuff to and the Secretary of State to certify the elections. And then Hemmingson, Yeager, and Her will probably resign so that they can clear the path to call the special election. You bring up a great point. It's like, I don't know, it shouldn't take too long to resolve the Minneapolis mayoral election, and they'll go through the same process. And so they'll either, and the thing about you have to avoid certain holidays and all that sort of stuff, and how you count up the days, it's a thing.
Yeah,
we went through this when Bigham got elected in February of 2018.
And when you say the governor has to wait, in my opinion, till the Fatah thing gets figured out, because you're not going to have one get it started and then have a guy 3 days later get his and then say, okay, we're going to have another. He's going to wait.
He could probably factor that timing in and set the special election for the first two. And then just know that we would have the same date for Minneapolis. So there are people counting as we speak. They got paper calendars out.
How flipping exciting is this? It is just crazy. And all that then happens in January, sometime in January. And 1 month later, there'll be new numbers.
Campaigning in January is so much fun.
See, people don't get your sarcasm. We'll be back with more right after this with Senator Susan Kent.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Everybody knows you have to have a guy in the auto repair business. If you want a car, you need to know Paul. Paul owns Jay's Auto Shop. I don't know. Ask him. Jay's Auto Shop's locally and veteran-owned. Paul's your guy in the car business. He'll fix just what needs fixing, make sure it's done right, and at a fair price. You want to know your car's being taken care of, take it to Paul at Jay's Auto Shop. 202 North Main Street, Blue Earth, 507-525-1052. 507-525-1052.
Don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on the Al Travis Show.
And we've got our Senator Susan Kent on the program with us, and we're going to talk about the seismic earthquake in the governor's race. Let's see how you perked up. People perk up in the governor's race.
No.
Representative Damuth got involved. Did you not?
Oh, yeah.
You,
yeah
okay.
I did see that. Yeah.
We use titles like that to
where
get
is this going?
get people listening. Here's where I come from. I'm going to throw it at you. Again, Senator / Dr. Jensen has been on this program back when he ran before. We know him, okay? Not ripping him in any way. Kendall Qualls kind of the same thing. Hadn't been there, but we know who he is. So I'm not saying not excited, not saying anything about them. But I had been saying right up to like state fair time, Republicans, you want to get in the game, get in the game. Don't be waiting for the governor to decide, get in the game. And it wasn't happening. Then this Kristen Robbins gets in representative, and I really liked it. Two things. She runs that fraud committee, and I think fraud is going to be a huge issue. This isn't going away in the next 11 months. So I think that gives her a huge distinction point. So I was happy about it. Now, I'm going to throw, well, I mean, that's why you get in. You got Then all of a sudden now Representative Damon gets in, by the way, was one of the worst kept secrets of all time. I'd heard it from like 5 people before it happened. So if I'm finding out, everybody knows. But that being,
if I'm finding out, everybody.
Okay. So my point being is good. I mean, she's the Speaker of the House. She's, she name recognition. She's been there, done that, knows how it all works. I am telling you now, and I'm not asking people not to get in, but I am now at least happy with the field that the Republican Party thrown out. You have options. They're going to have to go back and forth and sharpen blades and all the other kind. But I'm liking the idea now, what we've got. Throw more in. I'm not opposed to it. But is that an okay setup for at least the Republican Party are throwing good candidates out there?
I think it's a good range of candidates, if you will. Let's put it that way.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does this earthquake seismic? Well, how does this seismic up? Yeah, how does this change the race? I mean, I believe again because the governor's got some AOL problems today. AOL, yeah, OLA, office stuff he's got to deal with today. This is that Chinese water. If you ever had a big brother would sit on your chest and then just beat you on the head until you gave. No,
you'll be shocked to know I'm an only child.
No, that doesn't shock me. I think you did. Well, if you ever have an older brother, he'd just knock a noogie on your head like this until you gave up on whatever. We call it the Chinese torture test. That's probably racist. I don't mean anything by it. It's just what we called it as a kid. That being said, this waste and fraud and OLA stuff, to me, is that for this governor. And he's got to find a way around it. Now, he suspended 14 others, but that is a whole new story in itself. What does he do to get from that? How does he... he's kind of, this is his thing, his cross to carry.
Well, I mean, I think he, keeps leading and trying to make sure that the agencies are doing what they're doing and, making sure that we are protecting taxpayer money and making sure that we are, we've talked about this because you love talking about it a lot, that this is, it's always a constant problem because technology is evolving, and as technology evolves faster and faster and faster, and we get AI and all that sort of stuff, the bad guys get more creative, and it is hard to stay on top of it, but they need to, absolutely. So if he's doing that, then I think the bigger questions for people, because the reality is, we need to be responsible with taxpayer money, and there has been too much taxpayer money that went out to fraud. But the things that are really affecting people's lives are the things that you saw in the campaigns this week, and then that you're hearing about from, what's going on in Washington with the shutdown. People are getting smacked with these health insurance premiums, and it's not just the people with the tax subsidies. Because of the way the insurance market works, it's going to have ripple effects on all our costs in terms of getting health care. Never mind that housing is too expensive and too hard to find. Never mind that the promise to get grocery prices down on day one from Donald Trump has not materialized, and my cup of coffee costs 20% more than it used to. These are the things that I think people are going to be talking about, and how are we going to right our economy and protect citizens from these really harsh policies from Doge and Trump and congressional Republicans.
I'm going to split the baby with you.
And I'm just going to finish. I got one last clause and I'm finishing the sentence. And I think Governor Walz's argument is that you need an experienced, knowledgeable, and steady hand to navigate these waters. It's like his response with the $4 million to just help out with SNAP so that we don't have Minnesotans starving because of this nonsense that the Republicans will not even release the funds that the court just told them to, and they're already there dedicated for this purpose.
So, real quickly, you guys, all these things you said, including your cup of coffee, all those prices went up when your guy was in charge over 10 months ago. This is what we're doing. You're saying he hasn't been able to reverse. COVID was done in 2023. We're talking 2024. Now, I want to get the insurance part. The insurance part, I want to get there. The insurance part is your team. 100% voted for Obamacare. Great. You got it. We got it. Your team, entire during COVID, included in the, the Inflation Reduction Act, had this subsidy to keep down the cost of medical costs. It didn't keep them down. Your team, 100%, none of my team voted to have it at all. It sunsets in 2026, and you're now blaming this guy who
Again.
came in 10 months ago. How can
Again.
you make my insurance premiums go up? It's not his fault. You all voted that in.
This is not how insurance works, and it's on all of us. And we used to have to do this at the state level too. You have to keep responding to the dynamics of the economy and the healthcare industry to try to buffer these effects on ratepayers, right? I mean, that is just the reality.
It isn't
of
ratepayers, it's taxpayers, all of us.
No, it's ratepayers who are having to pay for their insurance, whether they're co-paying with their employer or whether they're paying their deductible, sorry, fuzzy-headed, or whether it's these tax subsidies. All of these things are one problem. One thing. It's like the whack-a-mole thing. If you do one, another thing happens over there.
We got. How do we keep track of it? Obamacare, which is going to make everything go down because we're all in the same pool. It didn't do it. It's going up by quadruple. As long as we send somebody else's taxes to pay it down, it is. I got to go. We're at 7 seconds. I'll get you back here next week. You want to do all Obamacare? We'll talk about it.
I don't know.
Hope you get better. Get over that COVID. She said her, Susan Kent.
You need a friend at the Capitol who